Hey there, YouTube. It's official. I finally bought my Irbsen Muster 44 trousers. I mean, they should be in at least about 2 weeks because they're coming in from jolly old England, but I really have no experience in ordering stuff from the other side of the world, so let's see how this works out. But yeah, instead of buying the field trousers, that comes standard issue with all Wehrmacht troops. It really seems to me that I really shouldn't go for that because nothing really changed my mind about why I should choose the gray uniforms in the first place. So, because I really feel that the summer tunic that I have right now really works well within this sort of climate. I mean, right now it's getting all murky and it's getting all humid right now. So, I believe that's a good combination, especially for what the history that I looked up for the Epson Musta 44 trousers. So yeah, that should be a good combination. And again, I'm going for a 1944 and 1945 loadout kit. So this should be interesting because all the Germans were going for one thing. They were surviving with what they had or what they were trying to scavenge, and there was nothing. I don't think that supplies would really worry about one soldier trying to get a replacement pants. So he basically had to steal pants off of a dead Kameraden. So that sounds a little depressing, but that's what happened during the last few years. I mean, the last few months of the war. So that's what I'm going for, and we'll see from there. And now on to the Epson Muster 44. I mean, the 44 Epson Muster pattern. Well, if you don't know what it means, the literal translation of Epson Muster. Now I'm going to mispronounce the hell out of this, so please forgive me, my German audience. The literal translation of Epson Muster is peas pattern. I mean, think of it as a combination of mini vegetable peas, as you can say. Again, it really looks nice. I mean, it's something that's been applied to the modern Bundeswehr, the German armed forces of today, as well as the German armed forces that was organized after World War II. I don't know why the NVA, the National Volksarmee, the National Volksarmee chose a really bland pattern for field operations or field work. But I don't know. I mean Soviet gear, whatever's used possible. I mean, for the Soviets, they don't really come up with ideas. They share the ideas, so that's really disgusting in my point of view. But anyways, I really believe that Epson Muster 44 is a really great piece of camouflage material. I mean, it's been used ever since the Eastern Front ever since the beginning of the Eastern Front. Now it has been distributed in 1944, hence the name Epson Muster 44. And it was greatly needed because the Waffen SS didn't really trust those winter parkas because they had to remove them, they had to take them off, remove them every single given week, and most of the times these parkas and as well as trousers were stolen over the course of time, just made for sort of souvenirs by somebody else. And they were rare in most occasions. And the patterns themselves were the oak leaf, as I believe they were, and they were also reversible for given seasons. But 44 at Epson Muster was used in many other seasons. I mean, not just for the 4 winter seasons. Well, the 4 main seasons. It was distributed because of that reason alone. It was a jack of all trades camouflage, and that's what I really like about it. Now, Brent0331, the user on YouTube, he really does put the effectiveness of Epson Muster 44 on his channel, so I highly recommend that you check that out, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe to his channel because he brings out a lot more camouflage patterns that I wish I could do because he's a former Marine, and this is something that he likes to do, so please support his channel. Now, that's one reason why I trust Epson Muster 44 is because it's a really good it's a really put together camouflage pattern, and and the only thing close enough to it that I've used in application is probably Marpat Greenland because I really love Marpat. I mean, I really used to. I never did like it. I never did like using woodland camouflage, but ever since going up to playing more games in Colorado, I mean, multicam doesn't work for jack, okay? I mean, that's coming from an airsofter who's played most of his times in the desert, but now one who is now using woodland camouflages to the letter. So yeah, I mean, if you're going into heavy woodland areas, be sure to use something that's really heavily its background is heavily dependent on heavy vegetation, i.e. the Marpat woodland camouflage, and as well as Epson Muster 44, which I believe is the best camouflage of them all. And that's why I'm really biased buying the 44 Epsom Worcester trousers, because I'm really biased when it comes down to using good camouflage and using the regular field trousers that was distributed in the Wehrmacht. I really didn't. I mean, nothing really did change my mind after. Nothing really did change my mind. I really didn't believe that I should use that type of system with, especially. I mean, again, this isn't just for cosplay. This is for actual airsoft applications. So you'll be seeing me running around in my German uniform in many gameplay videos in the future. So that's one of the core reasons of why I'm really biased against putting together a traditional German uniform. So yeah. And apart from that, the only update I can really give you guys is the ranking system on my summer tunic. No, I really don't know which rank to go for, but I think I'm going to choose Unteroffizier, just because, you know, I got so much experience in airsoft. And the German ranking system is also dependent upon how many years of service that you served in the German army or the Wehrmacht. So that's something I did learn. But if anyone wants to prove me wrong, I mean, tell me otherwise, please let me know, because I mean, I barely have enough time to research all these topics in the future, because I'm more getting ready for Operation Copperhead 4, which is coming up in Labor Day weekend of 2018. So that's something to look forward to. Now, I cannot use my German uniform on Operation Copperhead 4, which I really wanted to, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to stick with my regular modern loadout, so that's a big bummer for me. But if there's any other MILSIM operations coming up in the future to where I'm able to freely move around in my 44 Epsom Worcester camouflage, and as well as my summer tunic, I mean, that would be very, very appreciative. But until then, I'm just gonna have to wear my modern loadout just to supplement, you know. But other than that, there's nothing else for me to report on except for the history. I mean, more the historical facts about what happened between the Treaty of Versailles all the way to the rise of Nazi Germany. And later on, I'm going to talk about the Treaty of Versailles. I forgot to tell you guys about what the living conditions were during the Treaty of Versailles. Those horrible years of hyperinflation, and as well as Berlin being a capital more perverted than Amsterdam. So yeah, that's a real historical fact for you. But anyways, until that time, it's Skinwalker signing out.